So I got married right out of high school to the same person that I had gotten pregnant with when I was 17 and had an abortion, um, an unwanted abortion. Make that completely clear. Um, I ended up having a baby at 19, and then he and I separated, and I ended up with somebody else. I had multiple pregnancies with my second husband. We were together for 5 years, and I was pregnant multiple times, but I never was able to have any of those children. They were all miscarriages or tubal pregnancy. I had one tubal pregnancy, and I had multiple miscarriages during that relationship. And he had a lot of problems with alcoholism. It was an abusive relationship. He did abuse me, but it was very mild compared to what I dealt with after him, because when we were married for about a year, we split up. I moved back home, and I found out a week after I left him that I was pregnant. I ended up losing that child also. And then I ended up immediately after that, I was in another relationship. And that was my third marriage, who I have 2 children with. And he is a narcissistic abuser. He is a covert narcissist. He is a covert abuser. And he abuses in pretty much every single possible way to abuse. It's a full-fledged attack that he lodges, and he's very good at manipulating, very good at conning people, very good at making people think so differently about him and who he is and the type of person he is than what he really is. He clouds your perception. He clouds it. He hazes you. He does all sorts of different things that just like make it completely impossible for you to stay balanced and stay centered. And after 10 years of covert abuse, I walked away from that marriage. I had lost my father, and I never truly will lose my father, but in terms of speaking and relating, that's what I'm using the term for, that is that I lost my father in March of 2017, 5 days before my birthday. And that was a very, very extreme thing for me too, because my dad was always my go-to. My dad was always my rock. My dad was always there for me. He never treated me the ways that most people treated me throughout my life. He was really and truly there for me. He really and truly loved me. He respected me in a way that I just didn't get from really anyone else. So that was hard, and that really hurt me. I was angry. I was very angry. Livid. I was so angry that it was a destructive anger. It was a destructive anger, and I realized it as a force. And I needed to fix that. I had to, because otherwise it was gonna just eat me alive if I didn't. I started to realize a lot more things within my marriage and with my spouse, on just how methodical he is about his abuse and what he does and how he gets control and manipulates, how he gets control over people, the senses that he uses. He's sociopathic. He's psychopathic. I learned to read cues. I started to read his body language, read everything about him. It was like I was researching. I was researching and documenting all these different things that were going on and things that he was doing and saying to me. I kept track of all that. I kept notes. I kept records of all of it. I have proof of how he treated me. I have proof. But anyway, so when I ended the marriage when I ended the marriage, I was like, that's it. No more. Like, you lied to me. This is the last time. We are done. Don't even try to talk me out of it. Don't try to tell me to that you want me to stay. Like, don't bother. I was so mad. I was so mad. I remember him asking me, why am I so mad at him? Oh my God, because you traumatized me so horribly for 10 years. You never even gave a shit about me at all. You never cared about me. You never cared about how I felt. You never cared. Like, you just never cared. 10 years and 2 children, and you never cared about me or our kids. Like, you just, all you care about is you, and you don't even have a you, really. You're nobody. You are nothing. So, I ended that marriage. I thought everything was going to get better. I was like, everything's going to be better. Oh my God, it was like heaven opening up. It was like heaven opened up right above me, right there. Heaven opened. And I was just like, oh my God, everything's going to be okay. Like, the kids are going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. Like, this is all going to work out. Everyone's going to be happy and healthy, and everything's going to be good. You know, finally, we're going to have things that we need and want. Finally, we're going to be able to breathe and be okay to be ourselves and be comfortable and not be treated like we're wrong and out of place all the time. That no matter what we're doing, it's not right. No matter what we are doing and saying, it is not okay, it is not right. That is the mentality that my ex-husband holds and my children's father holds. So then he stole my vehicle. He had already been stealing my inheritance from my father, which wasn't a lot of money. I mean, it is a lot of money, because to me, $20,000 is a lot of money. But in terms of inheritance, $20,000 is really not that much money. But he had spent all of it before I ended the marriage. It was all gone. He had ruined my credit. You know, everything that has ever been in my name with him was never paid. And he didn't pay the bills on time. He didn't provide for me or my children. Did not provide. I worked. And I still maintained both mother and father roles in the grand scheme of things. That's what I did. I had to be a father. I had to be a man. I had to be the man of the relationship. I had to be the man, but I'm a woman. You know, I had to be the man of that relationship. And I had to be mom and dad, both. And then he took my children. He used law enforcement. He used CPS. He turned my family and my friends against me. And that's still the status of things right now, because they're manipulated. My own family and my own friends are manipulated to believe a liar over the truth teller, which is me. So I know what things I went through in my marriage. I know what he treated me like the whole entire time. I know what he was for my children. I know that he was not giving even 50% to either of those things, being a father or being a husband. I gave my all. I gave 100%. And even when he was never satisfied, I didn't do less. I didn't become angry or bitter. I didn't let it make me cold or a hateful person. I continued to love, and I continued to live in the light of my heart, in the light of my being. I continued to follow my heart. I continued to uphold the highest standards, values, morals, ethics, principles, because those are what I've lived my life with. That is what has kept me strong and whole. That is what has maintained me throughout many different struggles and many different hardships. And still, you know, I feel that people do this thing where they get pitying themselves. And I have never pitied myself. Not ever. I've always felt like pity was a waste. An absolute waste. Waste of time, waste of energy, waste of anything. There's no reason for anyone to pity themselves or anyone else. Pity is not a good thing. Pity is a bad thing. There's nothing positive or healthy or good about it. So, but I hear a lot of people talk about and you know, their situation, or like they're sad, or they're down, or they're depressed, or they're this, that, the other, because they went through something that was difficult. And it's like, so often I feel like, oh my God, like, you have no fucking clue. No clue what it's like to go through things. Not really. I'm not trying to bash anyone or be like insensitive. I don't want to be insensitive to somebody else's suffering, but my God, I have went through unrelenting storms, and I have still given my all. I have went through unrelenting storms, and I have still given my all. I have stood tall. I have stood strong. I have fought for other people. I have been a light entirely. Even with all these damaging, traumatic, terroristic things that have been done to me and said about me, because there's so much hate and jealousy that surrounds the way I look. Like, people go crazy. They hate me because I'm pretty. They're jealous because I'm pretty. That's disgusting to me. It is disgusting, and it should be disgusting to anyone that anyone does that. You're not supposed to judge people on their appearance. You're not supposed to value them on what they look like. And I hate the fact that people do. It's wrong. No one should ever have to feel that way. No one should ever have to go through that. I am an empath and an intuitive healer, and I have felt hate. And I don't have hate in me. There is no hate in me. From top to bottom, left to right, any part of me, there is none. Zero. Zero hate. Because that is exactly what it's supposed to be for every single human being there is on this earth. There is supposed to be zero hate whatsoever for anyone. People don't like the fact that I speak out about these things, and I don't give a shit if they don't fucking like it. I don't care about your fucking opinions. I don't have a fucking care in the world for what your opinion is, because your opinions are probably based on, guess what? Shit. I'm really tired of people and their opinions, because guess what? I know things. I don't just have opinions. I'm not an opinionated person. I know things. I have facts. I have knowledge. I have wisdom. Those are the kinds of things that you want to have in your life. Not opinions. Opinions are based on piddly, petty, unimportant things. The majority of the time, they are. Majority of the time, opinions are flawed. Absolutely. And if you cannot state something and know it with 100% certainty, then you don't know it. You don't know it. If you don't know it all the way, you don't know it. But yeah, so I've been through all of that. Then after 10 years of covert abuse, a mental breakdown, emotional breakdown that I had, realizing I'm a twin flame, divine feminine, all of these things, coming around that, my faith being tested, and it's very secure. But then being away from my children, that's been horrible, and I can feel it when they're sad and they're confused and things like that, like, because people are actively trying to manipulate my children and brainwash them, and that's fucking disgusting too, but they're gonna pay for it. And my children are gonna be blessed beyond measure. They always have been, they always will be, because they're good. They're like me. They don't have any hate in them. You can't make someone hate. You can't make someone hate. You cannot. And I take great pride in the way that I raise my children. I raised them with faith. I raised them with spirituality. I raised them to respect themselves, respect others, do the right thing always. No matter what anybody else is doing, you do the right thing. You just worry about you. Don't worry about it if they respond in a way that is not okay or not good. Don't worry about it, what the next person is doing or saying. Really and truly, you only have to worry about yourself. Yeah, you can give to others, you can help others, but really and truly, the only one you have to take care of is you. The only one you have to take care of is you. That is your only responsibility, is yourself. But I'm glad for and grateful for the leadership and the guidance that I've received, because it gave me the ability, throughout my life. I learned so much, and I used that knowledge to pass it along to my children. Everything that I have learned, everything that I have experienced, I have given to others. I've given it so that others could have the same knowledge as me, have the same experience without having to go through maybe everything that I went through, but still have the perspective that gives them an added, I don't even know what word I want to use. It gives them added support, I guess I would say. I have been evicted from my father's home. My car was taken from me. A bunch of people coming after me at the same time, trying to fuck up my life, trying to fuck me up, not caring about me, my feelings, anything about me, or my children, really. And that's continued for over a year. And he's used PPOs and lies and CPS and law enforcement to bully and harass and victimize someone who is a survivor, who he knows is a survivor. And then I've gone through being raped, abused, manipulated, controlled, sodomized, molested, groped, tortured, pretty much. I've gone through that because I was evicted and then put on the street. And so then not having money, and being, having PTSD, severe PTSD, OCD, ADHD, possible schizophrenia, possible autism, as a result of all the abuse and neglect and abandonment and trauma that I've gone through in my life. Now, I've gotten through all of that, and I'm strong. I'm stronger for everything I've been through. I'm stronger, and I am more capable and wiser for every single thing I've ever gone through in my entire life. It's all been a learning experience to me. I wanted the most knowledge I could possibly have, and that's what God gave me. So, but I'm still in this situation because I'm living still in a hotel now, because the only reason I got that was I was staying in a shelter, and they kept on triggering my PTSD like really badly, and it was causing a lot of problems. There was a lot of jealousy and a lot of complaints about me, because I have a higher awareness than most people do, and that's not something that a lot of people like, especially when they have like a superiority complex, or they believe that they're superior to women or whatever. It's been hell, pretty much hell on earth, going through all of this stuff, and not being understood, not being listened to, not being heard, not being treated right, not being respected. People just avoid and break communication because they're scared or intimidated, or jealous or hateful or whatever. So I've dealt with that a whole lot. And then with me, I do therapy type stuff. I do all positive. For therapy for me, things with therapeutic value are like marijuana. Marijuana is a big one, and I'm a huge advocate for marijuana. Marijuana has helped me. Marijuana has helped me a lot. with all the things that I've been through. God, I don't think I would be here without it. I really don't. I think I would have lost my mind a long time ago if it wasn't for marijuana and things like LSD, and shrooms even. Those things are things I have used. Although the weed is like a daily use thing for me. LSD has been something I have rarely used. It's something I use for therapeutic value, but not often. And shrooms, I have only done that twice. But again, that is something that is therapeutic value to me. It is not recreational to me. LSD, weed, or shrooms, none of those things are recreational for me. They are all medicinal. Even though I had lost my medical card for marijuana, I used to work for a company that made carts and things like that, which was awesome, but that was something that got screwed up after my separation from my spouse, too. He worked to pretty much damage and destroy every single friendship or relationship I've ever had in my entire life, because he doesn't want to be seen. He doesn't want to be seen. He wants to stay hidden. Demonic. Like, he's demonic. And it's so horrible because my children are free spirits like me. And they're positive, happy, upbeat. They have genuine faith and genuine happiness within them because I instilled those things in them. And I taught them how to maintain them. So, it's been very aggravating, very frustrating, and very disappointing, demeaning, degrading, the things that I've gone through and experienced. And upsetting, because I've called CPS, I've tried to report the abuse, tried to report what their father does and who he is, but they don't listen. They don't have a real understanding or comprehension on that kind of thing, and most people really don't. Like, it's getting better, but it's still, so many people have no idea. Like, they have no clue that like the actual real way the world works and reality, and just how twisted some people are, that like they show all their twistedness, but if you just pay attention, a little bit more, like it's very, very easy to see. And they don't like to be seen. Narcissists like to stay hidden, so they can continue to take and use and abuse and control and manipulate people and not have any kind of consequence for it or feel bad about it at all. Feel like they are fine to just tornado through people's lives, and steal people's hearts and crush them and then hand them back with a big red bow on it. Like, here you go. This is what you wanted, right? It made you happy? Yeah? Narcissism is like, I hate narcissism. Narcissism is evil. To me, narcissists are evil people. They have no soul. Like, they bankrupt their core of themselves. Anyway. So I do a lot of writing. I do a lot of scripture work. I drink tea a lot. That's been something that's huge. I meditate. I do yoga. I exercise. I try to be all around healthy. All around healthy. That's what I want. I want absolute health, absolute safety. Like, if I don't have it absolutely, then I don't fucking want it. Who wants something only half of the way? Who wants only a little bit of something? Not me. I want all. All. A-L-L, all. The 100%, I want it absolutely, completely, entirely. Or not at all. So, I rely on God. I trust in God. I count on God to bring me through. I keep praying. I keep praying. And I ask for other people to pray as well. And I just keep talking about these things because eventually it's going to get resolved. It's going to get sorted out. I'm not going to stop talking. Nothing's going to stop me. Nothing is going to stop me, and no one. I am telling the truth about what has happened in my life and to me, what I have been like, and what other people have been like. And I'm not going to stop until everybody fucking gets it.